on through my laptop right now.
Yeah.
Is it okay if it switches off, or should I just stay on here?
Yeah, whichever one's better. You know what I mean? I know it's more comfortable to sit on the laptop instead of holding the phone. So
Yeah, that's why I'm
yeah,
just
say
reloading my laptop right now. It's doing what technology does from time to time.
okay,
Okay,
bet. Well,
dope, dope.
say less. Go ahead and get the audio and visual right. We gonna go ahead and get into the introduction because we are live sound
Sound
mind.
minds. Let's get it. It's the illustrious favorite podcast every Sunday, 7 p.m. I don't care where you want to be. I know where you need to be. It's right here. You know what I mean? Watching the sound minds and getting these gems. Nonetheless, though, as every episode that we have a phenomenal guest. Um, who, for the most part, man, is and it goes deeper than just having a guest. But at the same time, we're gonna get into all that, man. But this is a brother of mine who has his resume is impeccable. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff. We already got a shout out from MVP. Good evening, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So the love is there already. We have today former Shady Records employee, now Def Jam employee, but also started his own Carte Blanche Music. So we're gonna get into all that. Pedro Dro Genao is with us today on this Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Y'all, round of applause, y'all.
Oh, we
And
talking. This that industry talk. This that industry talk, huh?
hey,
Hey, let's go.
so I'm gonna let for the most part I'm gonna shut my mic off and let my brother introduce himself, man. Give his background, and then we're gonna get into this dope conversation, man. So you here at the right time? Let's get it done.
Absolutely. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Pedro Dro Genao. Thank you for making that G silent like lasagna. Uh,
Hey.
this how can I say it? George said it great. Most importantly, I am a downtown kid. I am a Lower East Sider. As George said, I started my music career with Shady Records about 2004 ish. Started on the street team after doing some things I shouldn't have been doing in the streets. Prior to that, I was learning and moving around uh, at a very early age. I would say about 16. I was moving through all the 15, 16, moving through all the open mics, all the bars and freestyle ciphers all through the Lower East Side with some local friends. Shout out to Shorty Black, Reem, um, man, even the focuses and the GTF family, the FN, and being in the studios with A Train and George very, very early on. I'm talking 13, 14 when they would kick me out of being in the studio up in house. So as much as they were kicking me out, I was learning. I was always picking up gems, and those small things led me into these more broader situations working at a major label at this time. So I mean, we can walk through the um I don't want to lay it all out at as we go.
Yeah, no, definitely can walk through. I mean, right now we at the beginning, which is, I mean, my question to you from, I mean, just given that little highlight of the beginning, like, how were you able to be around it? You know, be infused, be in the studios at that young age. You know, who did you know, like, to to bring you there?
Um, it was a neighborhood thing.
Okay.
It was a neighborhood thing. It was so many like and at this time hip hop was at its finest. Hip hop was at an amazing like this is like when Wu Tang was hitting, Mob Deep was hitting, Jay Nas, Big, the whole Bad Boy thing just begun. You were able to channel into the the most depths, the Wat Talib Kweli's, the raucous sound was just emerging. Um, Eminem started to penetrate through. This was that time. So hip hop in itself, it was like they called it the golden era, but it was also like just like the organic era where you could find yourself anywhere at any given time. Like, you would walk to Smith Projects to go see some friends, play a basketball game, and in the corner there you got EPMD, Redman. They're all shooting a music video in the middle of the neighborhood. You had Shaquille O'Neal shoot with the Fushnik and shooting a video right under the bridge. So it was like always around you. You would trail off to West 4th Street, take walks with the homies, go shopping on Broadway, but you get stuck there at the West 4 tournament, watching the game, and then as you walking back home through the park, Washington Square Park, anybody could be there. You could catch Martin Lawrence doing stand-up, Chris. So it was just like all around you, and like not that you didn't have a choice, but the choice was there for you. So like you just took it on, and like walking down Broadway as you shop, you'll catch AZ and Nas coming out of a studio session. Like this is what downtown New York was, and you just had to, embrace it and love it. So as a kid, I was just happy that people that I was around were just putting me on. You embrace what's around you because it's the only thing around.
And I got to be honest with you, man. I think for the most part too, you talk about that era, man. I think a lot of one of the most key things that you said, imperative, is to know that there was always a pocket. You know what I mean? So if you was what they call the backpack lyricist or a backpack MC, you had the Mos Defs and the Talibs and the underground scene, and then you had the flossy, flashy, bad boy, and then you had Boot Camp Click, who had their own, Caribbean background and still lyrical, and but then there was always this feeling that, commercial is not necessarily the only way to go. There are other multiple ways in which you could maneuver and get down to the nitty gritty of who you wanted to be and who you surrounded yourself around. So you're definitely right, man. The Golden Era is the best title that was given to it, just based off of the fact of how special it was. Nobody could sit there and be like, yo, I never had a time for myself or a pocket in which I could find. You know what I mean? Right. So you also worked with a lot of artists, brother. Let's talk about it. Action Bronson, Danny Brown.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna come on through the I'm trying to come on through my
the laptop?
Laptop now, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. Hey, 2 Dros. Look at that.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good. You good.
I look gorgeous.
You look beautiful, brother. You look beautiful.
Hold on. Make sure I look gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
You look ruckus, brother. You look ruckus.
Thank you.
So if you can't, man, how did you, like, for the most part, what was your role with artists such as Action, such as Danny? You know what I mean? Danny Brown and even work that you did with Slaughterhouse when Slaughterhouse was popping hard. Even got a shout out on the Slaughterhouse album. You know what I mean? So what do you feel? What did you learn from that, and what do you feel was your role in everything that was going on? If you could just put us on to that.
As far as Action Bronson, I was Action Bronson's day-to-day manager for about 5 years, and it was something that how do I say it? I was very lucky and fortunate to connect those dots. He had reached out to me through some of his people to, see how we could, because we would always see each other's, whether it was events, just different studio sessions, mutual friends. And I had the honor to be asked to go ahead and manage him. And then I brought it over to Paul Rosenberg, and he was like, well, let's do it together. So, Paul and I co-managed him for about 5 years. I did the day-to-day work, which consisted of making sure show offers were negotiated and worked out. making sure, he was meeting deadlines with different ventures that he created, whether it was his cooking ventures, whether it was merchandise, whether it was studio sessions, different, worldwide touring, just, the day to days of managing an act, pushing forward what the process is of creating different things, whether it's a project musically, merchandise, clothing, hoodies, whatever the case may be, music videos, and all the other extra little things that he would do that would help him excel his career as a brand, i.e., the cooking shows, the ancient alien stuff, just a lot of the different things that helped him, get other highways of bringing in some revenue on the business side. With Danny Brown,
I want to hit I want to hit the gym on that one because you just really broke down, the pretty much the grind that it takes to be a real manager, you know what I mean? And really handle the business for the artist. Like you literally said, I did this for him to succeed, for him to excel, him to be on time, reach deadlines. So definitely got to hit the gym on that one.
well, he also, as an artist, he I'm not gonna say made it easy. He gave a clear vision of what he wanted, who he wanted to be around, the different kinds of brands he wanted affiliation with. So it was again, it wasn't easy. We had a target. We had a target, and sometimes that, as a manager, really helps you out because you put things in categories. You go A, B, C. For instance, okay, you want Nike. Give me two other options in case we can't get Nike that suit the brand. So like that, we always had targets, and when we came at these brands, we didn't come to them like, "Hey, we cool. We have a big fan base. What's up?" No, it was like, "Hey guys, check this out. We have a strong touring schedule. We have a cooking show on the table, and we're looking to do special content things with him and his friends. So you're getting different hits from many different angles. What's up?" We always brought things to the table so everybody felt like it was a winning situation, because you also have to remember when you're approaching corporations, brands, television, production companies. When you're approaching these people, you can say everything you got going on, but it's not going to happen now because they already have their schedule. You have to think about next year's budget. So you have to remember that everything is a climbing story that you're trying to build for your act, but also you got to help them, and you can't interfere with their now program because it's something that was already planned last year for them. So you just can't penetrate and ruin what they've already got going on. So you have to think a little bit further on moving forward.
Like setting up and being in position, setting yourself up for when that next budget come around, you on the table to be, talked about.
For everybody. Because you're also doing it for the brand. And you also have to make sure that, you're giving them a complete report of what you created. Oh, your brand was in this music video. In this music video, we did 10 million views in the first month. These 10 million views consisted of 60-40 male to female ratio, ages 15 to 30. Targeted, male, white, black, Asian, Hispanic in that breakdown. So when you got to give this food back to the corporation, you're just not looking cool and got it in the music video. You got to give them back a report because you want to come back.
Data is everything. Data is the value.
Correct.
Gems, my brother.
Creating these brands, and making them look cool, you have to also report that back to the brand and making sure that the brand is getting their best look also.
Mhm. Gems, gems, gems.
Whole bunch of gems, man. I think for the most part, man, I think the vision of what you're doing is also based off of the times in which you operate. You know what I'm saying? So what would work, let's just say back in '97, when you had Woo Pop and all that, is totally different than now. You know what I'm saying? So if you can you build on that in regards to the timing of things, especially with the work that you do?
It's just like you said. See, I came from a street team era. I come from the street team. I came from being on Shady Records street team. Shouts to my man Al Vaughn, Burn It Down group from the neighborhood. Another gentleman, another gem that was given to me from higher energies to put me in this position. So thank you, Al Vaughn, always. I joined the street team at Shady Records, but prior to that, I was running around with Alvon, who was always promoting parties, different brands, different artists. He started on very, very early. And back then, we would hit the streets and we would give out posters, stickers, T-shirts, whatever we were promoting at the time. Shouts to every company that hired out and did what they did. But in 2004, I joined Shady through the street team with Alvon through Burn It Down Marketing, and you learn the value of the watching the day-to-day customer client feel, touch, get a hold of what it is that you're trying to promote. You put it in their hand, you see the excitement, you take a picture, you get it back to the company, show them that you were in the streets. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures we still have. It fast forwards today where your street marketing still is of value because you can see it on the phone now.
Mm-hmm.
And the evolution of that is pretty interesting because now you can see it a million times on the phone. But if you don't see the kids on the streets like you used to see it, riding to it, you don't believe it. So that evolution is pretty ill because it still shows you that or what they call organic is what we call the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They could call it organic a million times. So when the streets are embracing it, when the streets are adopting it, holding it, and coddling it, and then you see it advertised online and everything is hitting, that's when you see a marketing program working. Like back in the day when you would hear it on the radio, you'd hear it. But when you would see the posters on the streets, now you believed it. You'd see like there was a quality branding. You'd see the stenciling on the floor. It would hit you many different directions, the same way like it is today. So that evolution is pretty dope to still see that street marketing is still as valuable as it was then, maybe even more now than all this internet marketing that we could do 100 times over and over and pay for advertisements. But there's nothing better than somebody saying, yo, you know of this kid, yo, you heard of this? That's still the best marketing that exists.
Man, that was do you balance both now? Do you say are you more still to marketing towards in the streets, or you have a good balance with online marketing and street marketing? Or do you got your bread and butter is street marketing?
No, you have to do it all.
Got to do it all.
You have to do it all. It's too much lanes to just um, allow. The streets is what the street market element is kind of where that's where you're like, okay, it's happening. It's happening.
Yep.
But you must continue to stay consistent, stay there. And most important, learn. You have to learn about all these different kind of targeted marketing that goes on these days, whether on YouTube, all the social platforms, different apps. Very important to, like, for instance, this podcast. These are the different things that you got to touch and do in order to make your story be realistic on all fronts and angles. So it's a combination of all. It's just uh, knowing how to target what market your audience is and putting dollars behind it. That's just the bottom line. Putting dollars behind it.
Gems, let's go.
So a lot of names you mentioned, as we know, we all know, right? A lot of people we grew up with. Shout out to my brother Jose Huck too. You know what I mean? My brother Aquino.
Man,
there seems to be a loyalty amongst a lot of what you do. Can you speak on that? Could you speak on how the foundation of building comes from loyalty and comes from everybody trying to see everybody eat and not necessarily, because a lot of Black and Latinos, especially where we come from, there is that theory of crabs in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? When somebody sees that somebody's trying to build, you always got somebody pulling on the feet. So could you speak on that loyalty aspect and what it seems like a lot of where you move and where you go is based off of that loyalty and that brotherhood?
I would think it's just, it's just weird. The people that we mentioned, the certain people that we mentioned, they're just good people. And you stick to what's good to your intuition. And at times, to be 100% honest with you, I wasn't always good with my own friends. We still bump heads. There are times where some of us won't hang out for months. But when we see each other, we pick up that same embrace. And we know that, we're at a stage in our lives where we don't have to mix and bond every single day to be friends and family. And you learn who those people are as the years go along, because there are people who are just on schedule and on calendar for you, and you're on schedule and on calendar for them. And by the time you know it, you guys are 10 years in of just being on each other's calendars, and it becomes nature. It becomes nature. It's just not something that for instance, for incredible example, and we can segue into that. The relationship I have with my partner with the nonprofit organizations that we work in, the for-profit organization that we have with Martin Medina. There's no magic there. I would say there's magic there. There's no written, there's no guideline that we're following to be who we are with each other. It's just a common bond. It's like something that we like. It feels good to have a friend that we can pick up the phone, talk about family, sports, hobbies, bad times, and still run a nonprofit organization for our community, because that natural bond is so comfortable and our like minds are there. Like, why not use your incredible talent of organization, graphics, and leadership with my relationships, know-how, and passion for the greater good of our community where we grew up, to help serve you and I who are 15 and 10 years old, where we can start showing them like, yo, guys, we're from here. We've lived here. We're still on the ground with you guys. And we have these incredible careers in a world where people sometimes tell you you can't do this. Yo, it's so crazy. Not only can you do it, but I want you to help me do it. And bringing up this community of people, like we got what we call how do we say it, research. We have research of students that we've helped mold for the last 10 years and their trajectory and where they've gone and what they've done, and most importantly, the confidence that we've instilled in these people. The fact that we can call their parents and have one-on-one conversation and hang out with the parents outside of them. These are grown adults now. These ain't kids no more. These are 25 to 30-year-old kids that we've been around them since they were 12, 15. And the parents know this. And, you know, one of the proudest moments I had was one of the last grows. So Why Not Care More is an organization that I'm glad to be the chairman of. Marty is the founder. And, you know, we serve our community. We have another program called Growth and Goals Mindset. And one of our case studies and our mentees, she's came to through our program, through me learning what she does, going to different events, that just like I used to go to different events, and I watched it and I seen how she moved, and I just open-handedly gave her all my my network. And then she started to come to the Growth and Goals program, and she started to meet different people in my network, in Marty's network. And then she started her own company, and then she graduated school. And then she did the Growth and Goals Mindset with me. Somebody that I helped mentor ended up being my opening speaker at my. It was one of the most proudest moments in not only like my career, but in what Marty and I's vision and foundation has been for this programming, to take these kids from these at-risk neighborhoods and just teach them that, you know, put your horse blockers on. There's going to be a lot of distraction in the midst of this race. Yep. But we're going to get you through this. And, you know, super proud of this girl. She's got her own company. She works with several labels. She got herself an apartment, has a car now, has 3 different staff members she's paying, several interns that she's placing in different companies. It's a spirit of what we've always wanted.
Wow.
And her,
you know what's crazy?
Her name is Jocelyn Rivera. I'm never gonna keep that away. Her name is Jocelyn Rivera. Dope. Look her up. She's trailblazing. She's Dominican and Jamaican, or Dominican. And, I don't want to disrespect, but she's half Latin, half African American, and she's from I believe it's the Red Hook part of Brooklyn. But she's been with us, I would say, 10 years now. Just such a special person. Please look her up, and I would love for her to talk whenever you guys are ready. You're gonna see.
Yeah. Nah, definitely, and I think, and honestly speaking, and this is one of the reasons you and I grew up in a block, in a neighborhood in which we had very few people that would give us to help us, but nonetheless we did have that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to my brother Jeff. You know what I mean? Shout out to Alfredo. Shout out to, you know what I mean? It's a lot of people that we lost, and that Dorian, Greg, love to them. But there was always that, even in certain, shout out to FN, you know, but even in loss of a lot of people that we did lose, there were those that were always giving us those gems and planting seeds so that we could grow from. And the beauty of you sitting here and talking about having a mentee, shout out to Marty Moore, B. Shout out to my brother Marty. And for those of you who want to see more about Why Not Care, I was definitely going to segue into that. So I'm glad you did. Growth and Goals. You can check out Artivism, which was one of our episodes in a previous episode in a previous season. I think the second season or third. But nonetheless, you speaking about a young lady that you have helped to plant seeds so that she can grow and do what she's doing. That's what community is always about. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that a lot of times the stigma of Black and brown is, nah, they could never build together enough to build something strong enough. And the fact to see you and all the people that you are working with, you know what I'm saying, to help them grow. That's why that whole growth and goals mindset is so amazing from Marty. You know what I mean? And the fact that you are helping him now, doing all that. Y'all had the Why Not Care events on a yearly basis. You know what I'm saying? Giving back to the neighborhoods, giving back to the community. But at the same time, like you said, you brought forth resources. You brought forth where you could tap in and on, yo, Paul, I need this real quick. Yo, I need this real quick. How can we get this going? So now industry and certain financial brackets that were never a part of the community now are able to come into the community and give what's needed based off of these resources. And again, everybody knowing their part. It's a chessboard. So once you know that you the rook or you the bishop or you the pawn or queen, whoever it is, you know your position enough to know that this is our mission to win the game all together collectively. You know what I mean? So I want to definitely salute you. Definitely salute Marty Mizzle. Y'all brothers are doing it, B. And the fact that I see y'all, and like I said, man, we damn near since Pampers knew each other. So to see that maturity, that growth, that mindset, that, yo, it's not about me as the individual. That's when we can then see community grow better than what we have been seeing in years to come, you know what I mean, in years past. So in years to come, it's all about giving those seeds to those who need it so that they can then go and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Return the rewards. If you can, talk to us about the strength of Why Not Care, growth and goals mindset, and what that entails, everything that entails.
Okay, so Why Not Care More is an organization that was founded by my partner Marty. That it was just pretty much like I've said it before, but I'll say it like, you know, it's a story of Marty and I started going. We met each other in elementary school. We went to elementary school, PS 142, before I moved to the other side of the bridge. We went to PS 142 and we met in elementary school. We were boys club kids. And then moving on forward in life, we resurfaced and started playing basketball together. Then moving forward, a clothing company was started that we were a part of, Vampire Attire. Shout out to Shorty Black and Van and everybody, Reem, that I was a part of this. My cousin Green also. A brand was started, and it was just on the strength of me, you know, doing small things when it came to t-shirts and skating t-shirts and basketball tournament t-shirts. And Marty and I just did some t-shirts one time for Shorty Black and this guy Van. They had shows and people really enjoyed what we created on these t-shirts, and that happened to spawn into a clothing brand. And I just felt that loyalty at that time that Marty gave to me when he went and started this foundation. I felt that I owed him that loyalty back, because at that time I was young, a little bit younger than Marty, and he was just getting into college and I was just finishing high school. And he pretty much stopped college for this vision. And I used to remember the big arguments with his aunt and his grandma that he used to go through, because, you know, we were kids. We were kids at the time. As much as we thought we were grown, we were kids. So I would hear it like, you know, where's this going? Are they paying y'all this, that, and the third? So my loyalty to him when he said, yo, Dro, I'm starting this, was just like, it was carte blanche. It was just like, all right, what do you need from me? And he was like, yo, I just need you to come over here towards the financial district, because I need you to sign off on these papers. I only have till like 4:30. Mind you, it's like 4:15. I'm like, oh shit, where you at? He's like, I'm downtown. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna fly over there. So like I get there, he has like maybe 5-10 minutes left to come back inside and put this paperwork in. And I signed off on the paper, and he just gave it in. And he came back out about 10 minutes later. He was like, yo, I did it, man. It's done. And I was like, yo, what was that? And he was just like, yo, that's the filing of the nonprofit. You're the vice president now. So yeah, congratulations. And I was like, all right, cool. So again, not even knowing what that entailed and what it was, he was just always coming up with mad different little things like, yo, Dro, I need help for this. Yo, Dro, we need to, I want to raise some money for that. And then we started giving out care packages in the neighborhood to homeless people and just people in need. he created these care packages where he pretty much take any amount of money he had. He would go to like the Rite Aids and shit, and the different pharmacies, Walgreens, where he would buy a bunch of like the travel size of everything, including socks, and he would put them in these bags with these beautiful motivational notes and different addresses of clinics, and just different places you could go help yourself, jobs, foundations, whatever the case may be, that you may look for some guidance. And this sheet of paper had great motivational notes and all these different places for you to go to help yourself. And he just give me these bags and be like, yo, let's go help people. And again, my natural instinct, I was just like, all right, cool. And we would just go for hours on end and just give out bags to homeless people through the Lower East Side. And like, I started developing friendships with different homeless people because of it. And it was dope, And then like he started the back to school supplies give back. And like, it was just like, so I think it was the first year he did like 50 to like 75 school bags. And like, that shit felt good too. Like it felt good. Like, he was going in his pocket with anything that he had, and just like, Dro, let's go. We got to do this. And like, he would do talent shows at the Edgies, at the Educational Alliance. And for me, like, I have all these great friendships in the music business, solid friendships for years, not because of like just no business or no monetary things. It's just solid. Some people in the music business got this thing where we're just alike, and shout out to one of my guys, Peter Rosenberg, for instance. Like, he came to judge. I was, again, Marty pulled me like, yo, I need a judge for a talent show at Educational Alliance. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna call Peter. For me, at that time, I'm just moving fast. So I'm not really thinking. But to come today and think about it, like, shit, Peter Rosenberg was a judge at our first talent show at our Educational Alliance in our neighborhood, where a shy little girl sung her ass off so crazy that Peter had her stop everything and do it again. And, small to me at the time because I'm just moving, but that's huge to my neighborhood. That's incredible to my community that we can just tap in and have that kind of judge, because no disrespect, I can have the local DJ. That's an incredible accomplishment for us if he's the judge too. So things like that just showed me a testament that working with this guy is stronger than what it's energy. It comes to a point where you gotta let spirituality kick in, because I've worked with some amazing people, some amazing corporations, and listen, even for like, I've worked with Eminem and have had companies say, well, and I understand it. It's cool. Everything ain't for everybody sometimes. Some brands don't see the alignment. But it just so happens, like with this organization, people don't say no.
Yeah.
They figure out ways. And even if they say no now, they come back 6 months later and they penetrate again with us. And it just tells you, like, hang on to this. Push this. This has a stronger agenda. It got nothing to do with you. Something that we don't really like, we don't align ourselves with, and we're going on our 5th year. This is our 5th year anniversary of our festival. It's something that like we've always kept the integrity. Our integrity is we serve the people. We don't serve politicians.
Say that again.
The one-on-one of being able to call my mentee's mom, whether it's on the phone through social media is the definition of community. Not showing up when it's time to vote, because that voting comes 2-4 times a year. That's fine. No disrespect to no politicians at all. What I'm trying to say is, you're going to come your 2, your 4 years, but we're here forever. We have our families and our people who this is what they have. This is a conversation deeper than you, because there's child abuse going on behind that door that a vote can't fix. There's neglect. There's generational rooting that's fucked up behind these doors that a vote can't fix. And my talking and our activism, the things we do, ain't gonna fix it. But tapping in one family at a time, working with one family at a time, whether it's giving them these school bags, creating small programs, one family at a time, asking the most important question, how are you doing, is what's going to help us all moving forward. Yep. And that's the reason why I faithfully, I loyally, I energetically follow my brother's vision.
Because truth be told, man, way too many times, I'm getting an echo. Truth be told, way too many times, man. I think very rare do you have someone that's solid, you know what I mean, who, regardless of what, the agenda is never malintent. The agenda is always for the betterment of the community. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that with Marty, everything Marty does, you know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, again, this is about Dro today, but at the same time, this is us giving flowers where it's well deserved, based off of the backbone of who Marty Marr is, and based off of why.
I can't. There's no. He is my story. I can't be without him. These things wouldn't be if he didn't create. I'm just a part of the creation. I'm just a parent of a child that we're raising, in a sense, with these organizations. You know, I'm chosen as a parent. So as a parent, I gotta be the best parent possible. And how are we? Great parents, just straight up and down, having that comfort of communication. Because the natural sense of human, you can't tell somebody what to do. It makes you feel inferior. And sometimes when you drop that shit and Marty says, Dro, I need you at 3 o'clock. You have a meeting. You got to be here. Boom, boom. It's all right. I'll be there at 2:45. Done. The man is like what you said, George. The man is not leading us into malintent. It's great intentions. It's all coming from a good place. So if a guy has a vision and he's lined you up, Dro, go to A, B's gonna happen, and you're gonna end up with C. And he's shown you that 100 times. Guess what? I'm gonna do it 300 more times. He hasn't been wrong. And even when it's wrong, it's us learning what it takes to run an organization that's stronger than us. You know, something that we're really, really, really targeting for is the help of the Chinese community to come and bond with us more often. Us folks, brown and black, we're looking for that bond. Excuse me 1 second, please.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, I think it's very important that, you know, the backbone to all the work being done, the backbone to community itself. And I'll say this while Dro, you know, takes this instant little segment, right? I'm gonna say this to say that's what true community leadership is. When you're doing for more than just individual self, when you're doing for more than just one. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you doing what you do to then, in turn, try to get a political seat off of this. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times, man, we historically we should have learned, man, when people when Columbus came with his bandits and poisoned the people and said, "Yo, I'm doing this for you. I'm teaching you how to, do this, that, and the third, and poison everybody." That's what we should have learned historically to say, "Yo, let me not be that for my people. Let me not be the Jim Jones to poison the people off just for my own individual accolades." And I think that's the one thing with Why Not Care, man, that's so dope is there is not an agenda being put together to say, "Yo, I'm doing all this 5, 10 years ago. I mean, 5, 10 years from now, I'm going to now go for a political seat." And you see that way too often, even with people in our own neighborhoods, where they're just like, "Yo, I need that seat in 5 years, so let me just front a little bit and do this here and there, just so I can get that later on and get them votes from my own people." But you're not really doing it for the people. So shout out to the whole movement, man. And I think it needs to be given its roses, man, just because it's 5 years. And again, I say this all the time. I said this when Marty was here. I remember Marty hit me with the idea. He was like, "Yo, I'm about to do these care packages, and I think I'm gonna call it Why Not Care." And I was like, "Yo, that's dope, man. Let me know whatever you need." All of a sudden, the care packages, probably 75, or just going around, or like Dro was saying, 75 book bags, then became 250 book bags a year later. Then became some unseen numbers of sneakers being given to the community. You know what I mean? And on top of that, it's not only about giving physical things as much as it is also given mentally, where now it's like, "Yo, these are the resources for other things that you need to go to. These are organizations within our own community. If you want to check for this, go check for that. If you want to check for here, check for that." But at the end of the day, it's empowering. You know what I mean? So the movement is solid, B. My brother is solid, man. Dro, you already know, man. I love the fact that you even a part of it just because of the fact that I know you, man. You know what I mean? Been in many courts together, B. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard to find solid on solid. A lot of times you find solid and liquidy. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you two brothers are doing that, man, and spearheading that.
Yeah, we just definitely heard your story, man. I mean, we could definitely take this podcast right here and use this for a documentary. Some turn we got a Dro documentary coming after this with this type of just your story is incredible. The selflessness is incredible. The movement for and it literally and proves that it does for others. That's I mean, you can stand on it and 100% stand on it, and it's 100% solid. So I'm definitely giving those roses right now. Like, man, you're incredible. Everything that you're doing is incredible. We got a movie. We just thought you just told us a movie. I literally visualized the whole movie just now.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie, and it's something that like I'm supremely proud to be a proud of. And we're this is our 5th year, and like a testament of how this like how I know that this is something that's like something that needs to happen is like last year, for instance, it was COVID. There was no how we usually do it is we have a schoolyard in the neighborhood. As George said, you see, the giving back of the school bags and the supplies, that's the like that's like the Lauren. That's the Lauren. Getting the kids haircuts and getting the girls, hair done. That's the Lauren. The real is coming into that park, and getting informed on all the different great things that are going on in our neighborhood that you may not know about. That's the most important thing. Like, in order to get a school bag when we do our festival, is like you have to go see 5 to 8 organizations. They have to give you the food of what they got going on. They stamp your card. Once we see that your card has 5 stamps, then you get a school bag. Once you see that your card has 8 stamps, your kid gets a school bag and they get their hair done. Sometimes, like George said, we may have the Gap giving out 3 outfits a family. We may have New Balance give out 200 pairs. So the beautiful thing about this whole programming, that I knew that this is like a forever thing, that we got to keep doing this as long as we are empowered. Last year when COVID struck, we couldn't do the festival in the schoolyard because we couldn't have gatherings. We couldn't. Look at my partner right there. We couldn't have people come together.
The little why not care?
Yeah, you see it. We couldn't have people gather because of the restrictions. So again, what does the genius do? He makes his phone calls. He reaches out. He has incredible ties in NYCHA, and we went and had technology mixed in with hand-in-hand work. And what I mean by that is our partnership with housing allowed us to go into every housing building downtown and put posters in each lobby with HQ codes. HQ, HR, HQ,
QR.
yeah, those codes. And the families were able to take their phones, scan it, type in their information, how many kids were in these homes, if they needed food. And it allowed us to go one-on-one with families.
Wow.
And a great thing Martin did, and this was crazy, and this is something that, George, you didn't even know, but that's exactly how it went down. You grazed it earlier. Marty got on the phone with the school's chancellor, and the school's chancellor had told us, don't focus on school bags. Focus on school supplies, which we knew we were good at. We had that. School bags, we were like, okay, cool, because in the past, companies have given us school bags. Shout outs to Adidas. Adidas one year gave us like 2,000, 3,000 school bags that retailed at $80. They were incredible, gorgeous bags. And they came back last year and hooked up the Brooklyn marching band that had came, these kids, youth, that they split to both directions in our neighborhood, what they call the Hill and the Ave. And they went marching through each neighborhood as our community volunteers and leaders went to disperse all the school bags to all the buildings because we had the information. So Marty made a call that Friday. We had to do our festival that Sunday. And I think it was Thursday. He made a call, spoke to the chancellor. The chancellor told him, focus on getting headphones because the kids are going to need headphones from their tablets or their laptops that will be provided to them. So please focus on getting them headphones. So we had everything but headphones. So Marty calls me. He goes, yo, bro, we need a lot of headphones. We need a lot of headphones, bro. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me figure this out. Our ties with Shady Records and the Marshall Mathers Foundation is of a, parent-child. The Marshall Mathers Foundation is its own incredible foundation that does a lot for a lot of different kids across the country, but mainly their works in the Detroit area, in the Michigan area. But the Marshall Mathers Foundation has been there for the Why Not Care from day one in Shady Records. And it was one phone call. And I think Marshall had sent, and Paul and Tracy sent us 900 headphones the following day. So it was a lot of headphones, man. It was beautiful because it's just another testament, like, ask and you will receive when it comes to a cause like this.
Yes.
And, to be able to spearhead during a pandemic, to take care of families with school supplies and food, and still be able, still be able to deliver the message, deliver the food, deliver the Why Not Care More mission is just something that, like, I'll lose sleep for. I'm okay with losing sleep for this. So yeah, it's been an incredible ride. It's such a great movie.
Dope. Yeah. We back on the echo.
It fades out. It fades out.
So Marty Mizzle, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Why Not Care More.
Yes,
shout out to Growth and Goals.
Incredible.
Dro Genao, My brother, B.
Mhm.
Yo, let's talk about this carte blanche though. Let's talk about this. What is this carte blanche music and why the name? I need to know. The people need to know why the name, brother. And let's talk about what it is.
Okay, so before we go forward, let's tell the people what carte blanche means. Because if you know me, if you've been around me, um, you you'll see that the meaning alone will give you an idea of why I named the brand that I'm pushing forth carte blanche. So carte blanche stands for complete freedom to act as one wishes or thinks best. We were given the carte blanche. A great example is um, to have carte blanche is to be able to walk through the middle of a war and people will stop the war and be at peace so you can walk through and then the war continues after you walk away. Um, and it's something that I feel like the way I've expressed myself, the way I've created and done work, it's a carte blanche feeling. And carte blanche I created so I can have the freedom to make the different kind of arts that I want. And it's just not music. I call it music because legally I had to, and it's where I, do most of my business. But it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of a feeling. It's knowing that you've done so much well and good that even the most evil feels comfortable around you in knowing that nothing wrong is going to happen to nobody around because that carte blanche feeling. Um, and it's a music label that allows me to help. Again, one thing that titles surround everybody. Everybody is this. Everybody's that. I say my title is to help people. I am the CEO of Help, Create and Help. Um, Carte Blanche is a company I started so I can help bring kids from A through Z, whether we're doing business together. But my mind is to channel yours and teach you the different stages we got to take to get there. It's an artist development company. It's a full service company. I can help you book an act for your brand, book an act for a show, make music, help you get distribution, potentially get you a record deal. If you're a bigger brand, potentially get you a joint venture. The point is, I'm here to help connect those dots, and that's what carte blanche is.
My brother. So, I definitely had to ask you as if I didn't know. And I remember when you kind of came up with the idea too, man. And you gave me the definition as to why. And I was like, yeah, sounds right. You know what I mean? So um, what is it that you, with all your years of experience, your resume, what is it that you feel in regards to an artist? What do you feel is a full artist, or what is it that you look for in an artist to say, yeah, there's something about that I need to run with it? You know what I mean? If you could explain that.
You said the most important word 3 times. Feel. Feel. I can get you artists like I've signed artists with millions of followers. I've signed artists with no followers, more or less. It's a feel. When and I don't know if I said this prior, but I was a part of the discovery of Kendrick Lamar. And
Gotcha.
at that time, when I helped discover Kendrick, I I didn't have Instagram followers to go look at. Uh, I had his YouTube and songs that were on there, and he was K Dot. He wasn't even Kendrick Lamar, so I had to search for a whole nother name. And it was the music. I felt it. I felt that music, and it was something that I pretty much ran back and told Paul Rosenberg, This kid from Compton is fucking incredible. This kid caved out is fucking incredible. I seen him last night at a double XL freshman show where J Rock was performing, and he was J Rock's hype man, and J Rock gave him 5 minutes, and it was the most incredible fucking 5 minutes of the night.
Wow.
And that led, to the introduction to Dr. Dre. And it was something that I felt. Another artist, I helped get the gears going on it on Pop Smoke.
Shout out to Pop Smoke. Rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. His managers, both Rico and Steven Victor, did an incredible job of catering to Pop Smoke's vision, because they, like I know, I tried to sign them first over at Def Jam, and unfortunately I didn't get to, but I still got to be around it, because we were cool, me and his managers, and I helped out wherever I could moving forward. But everything that you see that happened with Pop Smoke, from the features to the shows to how he dressed, he knew that was going to happen. He said that. He had a lot of the music already done.
In a sense of a pre-plan?
The dude manifested it, bro.
Manifested. Yeah,
he knew it. He knew. He said, yo, I'm a feature with Quavo. I'm a feature with Travis Scott. Mind you, I'm around 1 million artists all the time. You get people that come up to you, they say things like this, and you're just like, stop wasting my time, man.
Yep.
But when this kid spoke, remember, he was a kid, man.
Yes, sir.
He died at 20, so you can remember through the negotiation and figuring out that he was 18, 19 when he was around me. He's a baby. But he's in my face. Yo, when I put this record out, this is going to happen. When this record drops, this is going to happen. I'm going to be on tour. Yo, I believed every single word. Because I felt it. I felt it. Like, oh shit, this kid is the real deal. So when any artist approaches me, like my latest signing is a gentleman by the name of August 08. When you guys have a moment, go check it out. My latest signing, I was out in New Jersey, and I went to go visit another friend of mine. He opened up a music studio. Shouts to my man Orlando Wharton, and he's very successful A&R over at Atlantic Records. He's helped usher the artists such as A Boogie with the Hoodie, PNB Rock, Kodak Black, XXX Tentacion. He's had an amazing run. His brother from Jersey City is one of us. I'm super proud of him. Opened up a studio in Jersey, and I went to go see him one night. And he had a whole bunch of young kids there. That's something that I really love about him. He had a whole bunch of young producers and artists there, all working. And, he gave all of them an opportunity to go ahead and play me music, because he felt, guys, this Dro's a real A&R. Play him some real shit. Let's get some work done in here tonight. And it was a lot of rap. It was heavy. It was trap. It all kind of, in a sense, almost all sounded alike. It was an hour of it. It was loud. My face hurt. And it was awesome, though, because, again, more relationships, younger guys who were in the spirit of it. It was good. But there was one particular young, I'm going to call him an exec, because that's exactly what he is. He made an executive decision that night. And from that point forth, I consider him an exec. Young gentleman by the name of JY. He came up to me and he said, yo, I'm not going to play you nothing in here. It looks like it's a lot. So let me get your number, which is the smartest thing. He got my number. And he's like, I'm gonna text you 2 artists. I want you to listen to them. So I'm like, all right, cool. So my phone dies. My friend is driving. Go in the car, plug my phone into the charger. Phone comes back to life. Like I'm just like in the car. Like I said, my face hurts. I open up the window. I'm like, shit. Let me rock for a second. So when the phone comes back on, you know, the phone is the radio reads the phone, so music starts to play. Now, you know, I naturally just go to my text messages that I missed out on, and I see it's this kid JY, and I press, you know, the music that he sent me, like just like whatever. And it's this music video, and this heavy set gentleman, and an acoustic starts playing. And this like, you know, it's like a gangster scene. It's like on some West Coast gangster scenery shit. They're in front of a caddy. He got his mouth full of gold. But I'm hearing guitars playing. So you know how like sometimes when like 2 apps are going off in your phone, music is playing somewhere, and you see shit moving. So I'm bugging out. I'm like, yo, like, is this like, yo? And it's this heavy set gentleman by the name of Augusto Wade. He goes by Emotional Cuh. So I'm already like, okay, he's a Crip, but he's singing his ass off like on some Frank Ocean shit over a guitar. And I immediately text JY back, and I said, yo, bro, I don't say this often, and I'm not the A&R. I've never been the A&R or the guy to blow smoke up people's ass. I'm not the one to be like, yo, I'ma sign you. Yo, I'ma sign you. I've never been that guy. I don't go beyond my borders. For those of you young guys that want to know how it works at an A&R, as an A&R, I have to go back to a committee of people, and they have to decide with me. And sometimes your numbers do have a part of the signing because it can help with projections. If you know about budgets and business, you have to have projected numbers. And sometimes those numbers really help us out because it can gauge what kind of budget should be set forth for videos XYZ. But I instantly told this gentleman, this guy's going to get a deal. Give me a moment. This is special. This is different. And, you know, one thing that elder statesmen in the business have always told me when you're doing A&R work. See, I never set forth to be an A&R. I always wanted to be a music exec. This is part of the process of what it is to be. It is to go through to be where I want to be. Me personally, when people ask me, I want to be a wizard. I want to have my own company, Carte Blanche, and be able to be a wizard. I want to be able to come to your company, your brand, your artist, and consult you from A through Z on how to make yourself be more visible for a bigger and broader fan base. So, yeah, they do, Marcus. Of course they do. That's why I'm here. I have a career off of it. I mentioned a couple of people that I helped. You'd probably know them. But I couldn't say it any broader to the young guy. Like, yo, you brought something so special to the table here. Like, this kid was incredible, and it was just because I felt the music.
Yes.
I felt that. You know, it's just when you have this feeling, bro, it's just you can't go against your intuition. And I was raised in a place of some incredible integrity.
Real quick question. So for the most part, actually 2 questions. My first question is, who has been your inspiration? Who do you feel has given you somewhat of a taste, that little bit of, damn, I love this. I need to do this. Or what has been your inspiration for that matter?
I mean, all the major execs that have came before me, and even the younger ones that are after me. Like for myself, I was blessed to be around Paul Rosenberg and learn a lot from him. I'm blessed to be over at Def Jam and learn from all the different executives that have legendary statuses in the business. I was supremely lucky to see Chris Lighty work a tour with 50. And I think like watching Lighty, the way Lighty moved, it really, really, really let me know, like, you can do this. Because I felt like Lighty spoke the same language that we speak. And Lighty spoke that language to everybody the same way. And that's something that I've always felt, I've always prided myself on. I don't change the way I talk to nobody, never. It don't matter what your status to the world may be. I'm gonna treat everybody the same, and it's just with honor, loyal, and respect. And I watched, those gentlemen. A gentleman by the name of Chris Clancy. Chris Clancy helped spearhead the Odd Future movement and what they've done. But I watched Chris Clancy come from being a music exec over at Interscope. So I seen how he started, that creation that Tyler the Creator was doing. I watched how Chris Clancy from an executive side make that craziness some of the most successful things on this side of the 2000s.
He made it look like something.
Oh, it's something. It's something. Puff. Puff is an incredible music exec that pretty much opened my eyes when I was a kid. Puff is like the reason why I was like, yeah, we could do this. We can do this. We can, any one of us can do this. Like, just the way Puff has always carried himself, and you hear the stories about this, that, and the third, and these people and that, but like, we don't know the countless hours and the things. Like, if you hear Puff's story, he was taking a train from Howard University to Manhattan every morning as a freshman and as a sophomore. That's fucking nuts.
Wow.
That's about 10 hours of traveling every day for your dream. So I don't want to hear no excuses. So it's people like that, and then flat out, my mom.
Shout out to the moms.
Straight up. Well, you're not from downtown, so you wouldn't know, but George will tell you, bro. Rue, my mom is 4'11", bro. With the fist of Thor, B.
Let's go.
So it's like, there's things that weren't right, but there was things that were just extremely right. And work ethic is something that, like, I could never. My work ethic it just comes from her, pretty much. It just comes from her. It comes from that sense of you have to, because if you don't, then you won't.
And as we know, definitely rubbed off on your sister hard. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even go there because that's my spirit animal.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Y'all. I can't tell you how proud I am of the both of y'all just to see y'all. And it's crazy because in separate lanes, but still the same hunger, still the same, you know what I mean? The same methods of getting it in, you know what I'm saying? And getting it through and doing what you need to do, man. So, and you can see her episode, That was also, that's Saudi Genao. She was on our podcast. And trust when I tell you, none of when you see people that any of us know on here, it's not that Homer feeling. It's not that, yo, we know them, let's just bring. Nah, we shining light on the dopeness of dope people. And it just so happens we know them. And then there's others. We had the Curtis Blows. We had the Grandmaster Caz's on here. But at the same time, these are dope people that for whatever the reason you should not know their name, go get familiar. You know what I mean? So Saudi Bell is that episode was crazy just to see kind of her mindset on bettering ours and where she is in her profession. You know what I mean? So second question I had, what's been your greatest go ahead.
Hold that question for me real quick.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and I always say this, a lot of people, like I put my Dr. Dro, a lot of people think that I'm like Dr. Dre, and I'm honoring my sister.
Ooh.
Every time you see the doctor, she did that for us. So I'm honoring her. And she's on the board of Why Not Care. So a lot of me and Marty's craziness, it's because of her. She puts that down for us.
And she's also she is a balance.
Oh, big
but any given moment though, go right off. You know what I mean? I remember, so and for the most part, man, that's that Rutgers love, man, to see y'all doing it, man. Like whenever one of us do it and it's solid, we doing it for where we came from. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I can't tell y'all how, when I seen her come through and the doctor, and I was like, come on now. You know what I mean? That's study. Those are those chess moves. You know what I'm saying? When I see you doing what you doing, getting shouted out on certain radio stations, certain personnel, Peter Rosenberg, yo, shout out to my man Dro. I'd be driving and smile off of that because I know, like, come on, man. Me, and I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying, but to everybody, he's Dro. To me, he's Peter. This is my brother. You know what I mean? So when we balling and growing up and learning from those who taught us, the FNs, the Alfredos, the everybody who, Charlie's, my godfather. So it's just kind of like, don't ever think, whoever's watching and whoever watches this later, don't ever think, oh, yo, this is just a podcast that they just bring people they know. Trust when I tell you. It's bigger than that because there's so many other people that we do know. You know what I'm saying? So,
somebody I definitely want to shout out also. We keep bringing him up, and I wish we could figure something out, but
we will.
Yeah, we have.
We will.
We have to.
We will.
Jeff Otero.
Salute.
Has done enough for the community. And whenever this man ever asks you for anything, please be mindful of whatever he has done for all of us. It shouldn't even be an ask of why. Just do it.
Yeah, as a youngin', a lot of people, people send you to the store, people send you to go do this, and you're like, get the fuck out of here, because you have that young man mentality. You have that we're raised where everything negative is the cool shit, We're raised with some fucked up ways. That's just the bottom line. We'll get into that another time. I've never in my life felt, as a kid, I never felt whack going to go get Jeff sneakers so he could play ball with us. Till this day, I've never felt whack. Never. This motherfuckers, I'd be like, I ain't getting, that's Doja shit. That's Doja. Let me tell you something. If that man didn't do basketball tournaments, if that man didn't play football with us, if that man didn't teach us graffiti, if that man didn't teach us breakdancing, yo, bro, my whole teenage life, I would have been doing so much fuck shit if it wasn't for Jeff. So, Jeff, if you hearing me, FN, Jeff, man, listen. Anything you need, man, no hesitation. I will run and go get your sneakers today, my boy.
And for the most part, I spoke to Jeff recently. I'll put it out there now. Jeff will be he will be a guest on the show, sure enough, because the amount of experience this man, and I don't want to give too much because when we do the episode, I'm just trying to find the right combination. But nonetheless, this man at the age of 16 was in Africa doing breakdance competitions. When you talk about hip hop, Jeff is hip hop, and I ain't even gonna go by and mention his alter ego, I guess, just for strategic. I will tell you though.
But you're definitely gonna get that on the show though. You're gonna
yeah, we can't. But when I tell you hip hop, the encompassment of or the encompassment of what hip hop is and community together, this man by far. And I know me and you talked about this before, Peter. Something need to be done. You know what I mean? Because we cannot. Jose's on here, 2 MVPs on here. Marty knows. Everybody from Low East Side knows, man, the greatness of who this man was. And when I tell you this man, 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, knocking on your door, some yo, let's go. We playing football today. Yo, let's go. We playing basketball today. And you know how everybody talk about, damn, I don't even know the story. The dude with the flute and the rodents that be behind him. No disrespect. I'm not calling nobody rodents. I'll just say, this brother, he was the Pied Piper, B. Straight up. You have 5'7" dudes.
But yo, King Rock, positive.
Sound like a movie.
The dude never drank around us. The dude never smoked.
Never smoked a day in his life. Yeah.
But we were in the projects. We were in the projects. People were getting shot around us. All the crazy shit that goes around in the projects. It was happening. But this guy did it. It didn't feel like we were in the projects, B.
Around, yeah.
Yeah.
He could hang out. Yo, he could hang out outside around everybody. Everything was going on around him. And if your parents knew that you was around Jeff, you was good.
You was good money. You was good money.
Good.
And I'm gonna be real with you.
Come around, dudes. Everybody loved them.
I'll be real with you. The killers, it don't matter who the killers were, the status of their resume would respect this man 1,000%, and still to this day do that. You know what I mean? So shout out to Jeff, man. Shout out to hands are crazy. Mayweather hands with the comedy of Martin Lawrence and beating you while he laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? So
man.
I gotta ask you, Dro, what has been your greatest experience thus far?
Can we add to that too? Because we got a question in the chat that actually says, "What is your greatest failure and what you learned from it?"
My greatest failure was getting comfortable. It's getting comfortable.
Here we go.
You hit a certain stage where you think it's gonna be like this for a long time, and it's not. So I've learned to never get comfortable and always create. Always create, keep creating, and providing the service of, most importantly, helping. Because once you start helping others start to help you, and you just keep creating. I closed my mind for a little while, and that didn't help. And my greatest accomplishment.
Hey.
There she go. Look how big she is. Hi, mama.
So as you can see, look, we're turning her into an artist. She does.
Oh wow.
So
damn, I remember she was a pebble, B. She is it's crazy, man.
So that's what that's my driver these days.
Word.
You know? There's nothing in there, but I'll get you whatever you want.
The boss.
The big boss, Ava G.
And what has been your greatest experience?
My greatest experience, I would say my greatest experience was going on tour in 2005 with Eminem, because it taught me the music business entirely from many different angles. in a matter of 60 to 90 days. And then traveling to every single
Fast track, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you travel to every single market and you get to see pretty much everything. You get to see like who the fans are from the ground up. Um, you know, you learn after parties, what the cost of them are. You just learn everything. You just learn everything in such a small amount of time. Everything is grazed. Production, merchandise, music, just the different corporate branding. That was the greatest experience of my career. Yeah.
Wow. Salute to that.
So I gotta ask you this, man. What advice would you give to anyone trying to do what you do?
Just do it. Just go for it. You know, if you say you want to be a music manager, go grab some artists and you know, learn. Make mistakes. It's okay. It's all right. You're not perfect. Every day you're learning. Every day is different. Every day we wake up with different you know, chemicals. Sometimes it's balanced, sometimes they're imbalanced, but write down your goals and stick to your script and put little dates on a calendar and hold yourself responsible for shit. Like I'm still learning. I'm still going through it. I'm not, you know, I'm 38 now and I still gotta have mentors. I still gotta ask people the same questions I asked them when I was 18 because things change, time changes, things work differently, and you gotta keep that open mind. But for the most part, just do it. Just you know, like what do you have to lose? Go for it and don't quit. Every day ain't gonna be a day.
Gems on top of gems. This has been an episode full of gems, full of gems. I mean, just
Crazy, man.
crazy, right? I mean, and
Mhm.
I see not only gems though. I really do see a movie. Like I see multiple movies just from multiple stories that you know delved into. So it really needs to be told. Like these stories need to be told. You know, so, and there's so many like us in all of these different all of the hoods. You know what I mean? That needs to be able to come on a platform, and then let alone we need to be able to be connecting these stories with filmmakers and things of that nature, and really sharing and showing these type of stories out on the big screen.
1000%, B. And it's only right, man. Especially when you self-made. You know what I'm saying? You take something, you take a bean and throw that beanstalk out. Now you got a gigantic ass situation that you created with the seeds that you planted. You know what I'm saying? So, um, anything in regards to like, I know anything you want to shout out. I know for sure. I think it's Tuesdays that you be going live and blessing people and letting them show you art, letting them learn music, letting them talk on that, brother. Talk about your spirit, man, and why you do what you do, but more so just talk about some of the things, some artists that you working with, any artists that you got your eye on, or somebody that you feel is special out there. Anything that you want to talk about, brother, let it be known.
Um, yeah, the Why Not Care Foundations of United Festival, Lower East Side United Festival is coming up the last week of August. We got that coming up. Big, 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 big shouts to Levi's. Big shouts to Levi's and Uncle Paulie's Deli. Levi's went and gave us a certain amount of jackets, so we can go ahead and create a cross branding between Levi's, Uncle Paulie's, and Why Not Care, so we can raise money for the foundation. So please look out for that. We're going to be going out with Levi's real soon, so we can raise some funds for the program and the festival.
Shout out to that.
Artists that I'm looking at. To be honest with you, George, I've been looking at a lot of the Latin artists lately. Latin music is really, really kicking a lot of ass on streaming.
Mhm.
And there's a gentleman from the Bronx. His name is Doba Montana. He's fire. He's fire. He spits in Spanish. He's dropping a little bit of the English in there, but I watched this kid go from 10, 15,000 followers to like 350 now. And this is something in the span from last year, March. So pay attention to Doba. He's going to be special out of the city.
Is that the artist Reggae's working with?
No.
Nah? Okay.
Shouts to Reggae too. Free haircuts by Reggae. Anytime y'all see Reggae, remember he gives free haircuts. You just gotta ask for it. I don't care if he's a celebrity barber. He'll give you a free haircut. What else?
And by the way, since we on the topic, B, as a Knick fan, I'm not understanding why we can't get no pitching done when, you know what I mean, when you have certain people in the seats. Reggae, get on that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Randall needs help, B. Stop it.
We gotta get it together. We got another chance, but we gotta get it together. What else? Artist Bobby Sessions. Bobby Sessions is a powerful artist that I've been working with for the past few years. He has a very strong Black Power message. His cousin was murdered by police down in Dallas, Texas. We did a lot of music catering to the empowerment of our people. And in the midst of that, he wrote Savage for Meg Thee Stallion and won a Grammy. And he's been very sought after these days on the writing side, but on his own mission, he's recently put out music with Lecrae. We just put out a single last week with Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs. It was just a lyrical onslaught. And we have a single coming with Rick Ross in a video also to put the project out. The project is called Manifest. It's a very beautiful musical journey on mental health and how to help yourself believe in yourself and push yourself from someone's point of view that comes from pretty much where we all sit from or sat. He's a very, very, very talented artist. You guys have a moment.
That's I'm a King?
Yes. We also did the record for
Coming to America.
Yeah, we were the featured song on that. That's beautiful. And that's another aspect.
That's where I first heard him. That's exactly where I first heard him.
Beautiful, man. I'm happy that you're aware. That makes me happy.
And not only that, not to cut your wisdom, man, but he got that real powerful visual. B, I forgot the name of the track that was real powerful where he's running. Very strong, man. Like it's just very empowering and very much one of those where it grasps at your heart where you like, damn, we need to do better. We need to do more.
Yeah, it's a record called Like Me, where he was on the noose. So it's a powerful record. He's we've been trying to push the agenda and just give awareness to what still goes on in the world. Sometimes, we can turn up all day long and be lit, but we also got to remember what goes on a day-to-day basis when you don't have the means to turn up and be lit and find yourself in vulnerable places.
I'm glad to be speaking to an A&R that actually listens and looks for that and is signing that and pushes that, because speaking from when you think industry, Def Jam and Shady is like you thinking on what they push on the radio, only the artists that you hear on the radio all the time, or the like you said, the get lit, turn up, stripper music, whatever you want to call it. But this you're talking about the conscious side, you would say, the political rap side.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, we got to go to the store someday. It's things that happen on the way to the store.
Balance, yes, balance. Shout out to Marcus. Balance.
So yeah, Bobby Sessions. I have an artist work that I signed, Carson Leaders. He's more of a pop act. A dream of mine came alive working with Carson Leaders. I was able to work with Timbaland and Scott Storch, which are artist producers that I grew up on. She wanted me to let you know that she was part of the help in discovering Carson. She definitely put me on. So that's another project working on. And lastly was the gentleman that I just recently signed by the name of August Wade that I'm just like supremely excited about, and I feel is going to be somebody that changes the face of music. I don't think anyone has heard anything like this or seen anything like this.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely not looking forward.
When you get off of here, go check them out on YouTube and see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
And tell me what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I seen as soon as you posted it, seen Pipes are strong. It's different, whole different lane. You know what I'm saying? So I love that for the most part you out there looking for the needle in the haystack. You know what I'm saying? And while other people are looking for the same similar, you doing different. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you for that, man. Is there any way that artists can reach out to you, maybe through the Tuesdays that you do the lives or something like that? Are you still looking for artists? What is your protocol and procedure for that?
I had to stop doing the lives because I was asked to by some folks who own the name Celebrate the Arts. So I respectfully had to stop using that, and I just focusing on creating something new with Jocelyn and her team so we can continue using. I might just start using her platform because I feel like it's my you know. Can I say something real quick? Can I just change? Because I don't like when people say my little brother or my little sister, because they're not little, they're younger. So I'm gonna say my younger sister, Jocelyn. I'm gonna use and thank you for ringing the bell, because I feel like sometimes people, there's a belittlement there. Like you hold them under you. So I never like to say my little brothers. I like to call them my younger brothers, because we still share knowledge that I might be your bigger brother, but I'm not bigger than you. I'm your older brother, because I still can learn from you. So with that being said, I learned that my younger sister has a bigger platform through socials, so I might as well go join her platform and use that name and make ours names bigger. So I think I'm going to be running over to the Press Play agency, and I'm going to be running the program through the Press Play agency, which is something she already naturally does. It's her job. I've helped her create, and she's created herself a lane in artist development, and she also does media write-ups and helps you with your bios and helps organize you. So I'm pretty much gonna just go over to my sister's page on the Press Play agency. So if you're a younger artist or producer or creative, go to the Press Play agency, follow them, and I'm gonna be moving a lot of my stuff through over there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dope, man. So, I mean, for the most part, man, we at that hour and some plus marks. You know what I mean? I see Baby Girl is definitely already taking notes on what you know what I mean. She out here is calling shots and making it happen for some artists. You know what I'm saying? So
validate her. It's very important to validate all kids, because you don't want them. One thing we were raised on was fear. Fear. And I don't want to raise her in fear.
Right.
I want to raise her to not be able to express herself, because it comes to that shit where if I tell her, like, while she's sitting here, she's around me like, yo, be careful, no, I'm killing a piece of her.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
I
to
never
him.
want
Talk
to cut
to
a
him.
piece of her. I want her to be able to, because here's the shit. Now she gets a big job at a major corporation. Shit is going wrong, and nobody's gonna voice their opinion, and she's not
Right.
gonna voice it because she couldn't even voice it at home.
Right.
Shit, what
But
makes you can voice it outside if you can't even be yourself at home? Why would you be yourself anywhere else? My vision for her is to validate all her points, whether she's right or wrong. Let her express herself though. Because the day I take away expression from her, then I let the world express for her. And that's not what
and
we get.
not only that, man, but you very, very seldom do you see somebody who's trying to change the F word fear into freedom. That's when you get that carte blanche. See,
I'm
boss.
I'm still
Feel me?
fighting fears.
Right? Yeah, we all are. We all
I'm,
are. But the problem is
you know
at
what?
the end of the day, understanding that the fear is just part of the ingredient of what you cooking. So the fear could be used in a sense of you adhering to understanding what it is that you need to be fearful of so that you can change it, or unfearful of based off of your freedom. And once you give yourself that freedom, and especially our children give that freedom, that's when you already know, like, that F word would always never be fear in my life. It'll always be freedom. Even if it's fear, sometimes when we say, yo, I'm afraid of jumping into the pool, but then you jump in, that freedom that you get, you understand, like, damn, that fear wasn't really fear. It
Right.
was just me hesitant, but
Right.
now I'm totally free of that fear itself.
Yeah, I just want to make a side note, man. Marcus, our brother Marcus, been in the chat this whole time, man. He just had to say,
Shout out to Marcus.
"Damn!" He had to say, "Damn, brother." Look, he like, yo, you done hit us with gems from the history, gems from the industry, not now fatherhood gem, parenting gems,
Right.
like financial gems, goals, and
Full
I mean
circle.
mentor gems. I mean selflessness gems. Like,
Mind you,
oh,
I'm trying to tell you every day, I'm still working on myself.
There you go.
Still working on myself. I still have days where, you know, you fight depression.
yep. Talk to me.
You fight depression. Like there's a lot of, like, we'll go back to the rooting and the raising. There's a lot of things that you thought were right that are totally wrong. And for you to unscrew all this shit and to put it back together, what's supposed to be the right way, there is no right way. It's all about how you feel and what makes you feel happy while you're chasing freedom.
Talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? So it's it's about patience and being okay with that patience, because we all learn on different frequencies. We all don't learn things the same. My power in reading may match your power in math. And that's what makes us great together. That's why me and my partner Marty are great together. For all his organizational skills and vision, it helps me go out into the world and create, because he already gave me what our standard is. So it's just, walls holding each other's up.
And let's be real, right? We a bunch of wretched, for what it's worth, as we hear the door coming down. Um, at the end of the day, if we let anybody else design our schematics of who we supposed to be, we a bunch of rugged kids from Lower East Side who weren't supposed to make it here. We weren't supposed to build together. You know what I'm saying? The narrative is so twisted now in regards to the honesty of the truth that all we can do is build together and make it stronger. You know what I'm saying? So whenever when I put up that you was gonna be on the show to get today, or when I was sending text messages out, they were like, "Yo, Ruckus, yeah, I'm proud of my brother, B." And the beauty is, I remember us being younger men and having a conversation in which, till this day, I will always love you for, because you were honest, you were truthful, and it was nothing but raw honesty. You know what I'm saying? And that,
Yeah.
again, solid. And you know what I mean? So at the end
You
of the
brought that through 100%, man. We really appreciate
thousand,
your
yep,
vulnerability.
1,000. So we here. Whatever you need, Dro, you Dr. Dro. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Whatever you need, brother.
Appreciate you,
We
man.
here,
Appreciate
B.
me.
We here.
Appreciate you coming on this. Appreciate me building with you. We gonna be in contact for real. We need a part two.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Hey,
link up. Let's go have
I
lunch.
wanna talk more on that the feel of music wave. I feel like, you know, me as I'm a I call myself a lyrical healer, conscious hip hop artist. So like I want to tap into the feel of music, you know, with you.
Well, you know, there are times I don't know where you based out of, but I do a lot of studio sessions for myself.
I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, if you ever in the city, just give me a heads up. I'll book a session. You come through. We'll go do some listening. I just do studio sessions for myself. I just go listen to a bunch of music, and artists come in all the time and check in with me, and might be in a studio session with a big major producer artist, but we're all just hanging out. It ain't about making. It's just like, yo, this is an idea I got. This is this. It's just a big bond room. So, you know, you
Oh yeah,
always talking
let's
about,
definitely set it up.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate
yeah.
it, man.
And with so a couple of announcements. As you've seen, there was only two of us today. Shout out to our brother Rap Poet, man. Um, you know, he's definitely his presence was missed. You know what I'm saying? He'll be here next week. And also, man, when you talk about community, man, it's really about building from the strength of who we are as the community is. You know what I mean? So that's why you see I got that Ladder to Success hat by my brother Josh Jimenez. I got that Sound Minds made by my brother Trey Star. You know what I mean? So there will be Sound Minds gear soon. But for the most part, man, so if y'all don't see, you see the glitterness and all that. I know my brothers had theirs the first episode. This is what community looks like, man. When you take it from your own of people that you know, like I said, if I know my brother is ill with the pizza making, I'm going to his pizzeria. I don't need to go to travel to nobody else's pizzeria when I know mine can create the way I need it to be created. You know what I mean? So, Joe, keep doing what you're doing, brother. You already know, man. Any given time, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon or the morning, brother, I'm here. Whatever you need, man. Family.
Vice versa, gentlemen. Anything you guys need from me, please let me know. Send me the logo so I can always promote it through my page and let people know that you guys are around and kicking.
That's love. That's love.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Hey, and with that being said, we will see you next episode on Sound Minds Podcast. 1, 2, 3. Sound
Sound
Minds.
minds. Peace, y'all. Have a good one.